I'll assume you all know about the deep web. Well, what you've heard, it's true. It's not a great place. While some people are there to score weed or firearms or even out of sheer curiosity, others, well, they're obviously not up to anything good. But I'm not here to talk about those sickos. I'm here to talk about what lies beyond that point, the more cryptic and unexplainable part of the internet, the part that nobody's really supposed to see. There was an infographic that cropped up a while ago. Not sure when. The 8 levels of the internet. Maybe you've seen it. As interesting as it was, it's a complete bunk. I'm sorry, but polymeric Falcon Gold Revitation means nothing. And the Primarch system? I guess somebody's a fan of Warhammer. No, there's no quantum mechanics involved here. However, that doesn't mean it was an easy place to find. Now, I'm not going to begin to tell you how to get there. It's unlikely that you'd be able to even if I did. I'm not tooting my own horn here, but I just didn't have a life outside of this. I was warned, of course. Everybody told me I wasn't going to like what I saw, that I wouldn't even understand it. Now, I'm passing off that warning to you. Don't try to look for this. There's no official name for this place, or at least I haven't seen one. There were rumors, however. These ranged from the Illuminati chat room to a virtual holding cell for an experimental AI gone rogue. In reality, it's a lot worse. After a long and painful process of breaking down firewalls, encryptions, solving bizarre philosophical riddles, and following hidden links, I was finally directed to a blank page with one line of text and a text box underneath. Quid queres? Latin for, what do you seek? I remember feeling surprised, but in retrospect, I didn't know what I was expecting. I'll admit, I was a bit stumped here, partly because I didn't know the answer to the question. I had no objective, I just wanted to see if I could do it. I tried some generic answers first. I typed in the truth and enlightenment. You know, Matrix shit. Nothing happened. I tried a bunch of answers, but none of them worked. I was getting frustrated at this point. Maybe this was a gag page. Maybe I really hadn't figured anything out. If only. I tried something off the wall. Not sure how this came to me or why I thought it would work, but I typed in what also seeks me. Now that I think about it, this thing might have been an AI. To my surprise, the page went blank. Like, fully blank. I waited. After about 5 minutes, I was directed to what looked like a form. No, not even that. It was way more basic. Just a list of links over a brownish-yellow background. The links themselves were incomprehensible. Just seemingly random sequences of characters, symbols, and letters. A lot of them I'd never seen before. It almost looked like an alien language. Obviously, just a code I didn't understand. At this point, expectations were off the wall. Each link was a shot in the dark. I clicked on the first one. It loaded up a live feed of what seemed to be the Paris catacombs. I watched for a while, but was ultimately uneventful. I moved on to the next link. It was shaky video, I think in the dark, but I could make out men in tactical gear. They were in a house, opening doors and sweeping each room. Eventually, they kicked one of the doors down to reveal a creature, tall, humanoid, with scaly skin. It was gnawing on a dismembered arm. They tried shooting at it, but it escaped out the window. The video stopped there. Well, I was floored. What the hell was this? It looked too real to be unreleased film footage. I was officially intrigued. Maybe this was worth the months of headaches and bloodshot eyes after all. I couldn't stop now. I started working down the list of links. With each click, everything got more and more bizarre, more disturbing. I stumbled upon a document called The Paragon Project, detailing trials of human experimentations that would lead to superhuman levels of strength and durability. It was an apparent success. Looked official, too. There were essays on space-time anomalies, glitches in the reality, and apparent pictures of alternate dimensions. There were detailed explanations regarding Area 51, the Bermuda Triangle, assassinations, disappearances, and the true nature of the Holy Grail. One of the more upsetting ones was a document referring to a world-ending bomb, a nuke that's 72,000 times stronger than the one dropped in Hiroshima. I don't want to know why we would need that. I found contingency plans for different kinds of apocalypses, nuclear, winter, biological, viral outbreak? Some more peculiar ones were called the Marianas Trench abnormality, the bluntly labeled strange man on the 15th floor, and one simply referred to as blackout. Recovered logs of skinned residents of a town in Texas that went missing in 1977, and even the journals that belonged to the people involved in the Deltov Pass incident. They didn't go insane because of the snow. I spent hours on there, looking through pages and pages of things I felt like I wasn't supposed to see. I came across a trailer to a silent film made back in 1910, one that apparently made people claw their eyes out after watching that nearly derailed the whole industry. There was a live stream of a hooded man sitting in front of a camera, head crouched down. He eventually lifted his head, even though he had no mouth. A deep guttural "hello" came through my speakers. Somehow, I knew it came from him. I didn't stick around for that. There were obscure sets of step-by-step guides that involved things like cutting off your own limbs and sewing on corpses, performing religious incantations in the middle of the Siberian forest, and going to coordinates that apparently housed captive fallen angels. It was unclear what any of those were doing to achieve. There was also a 20-second long clip titled The Futility of the Living. I didn't watch it. That's when I realized there was no way even the highest form of organized government had full control of this. One of the scariest things about this whole experience was that I didn't find an end to the list, no matter how far I scrolled down. I think I had a meltdown and passed out eventually, because I woke up on my floor in the middle of the night. I looked at my computer screen to see a looped helicopter footage of a massive, crab-like creature tearing apart a coastal island. I clicked off of it. I just sat there for the longest time. I couldn't comprehend what I was seeing, and I don't think I really wanted to. Now, I'm not really sure why I kept going. My brain was screaming for me to take my computer out to the lawn and smash it into pieces. But I didn't. I noticed something I hadn't before. A small message at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. I don't know if it was always there or not. It was hard to read, so I had to squint. More Latin. Translated into, "Are you satisfied?" There were two options. Underneath it, yes and no. Now, I knew the answer to this question. Hell no. I wasn't satisfied. I was horrified, scared for life. But I should have clicked on yes. If I just clicked on yes, it would have taken me out of the godforsaken place, back to comfort and sanity. Even right now, I can't tell you why I clicked no. But once I did, the page seemed to refresh. It was still the same basic setup, except there were only 4 links this time. There were no recognizable numbers or characters. Hell, it didn't even look like anything that could have come from this world, just a collection of extremely crude symbols that didn't give off any sense of pattern or direction. I clicked the first link. After about 20 seconds, I slammed the computer shut. I can't describe to you what I saw. All I know is that nobody was supposed to see it. Nobody should ever see something like this. It's not only that it didn't make any sense, I can't tell you why it didn't. I couldn't begin to grasp the images I was seeing. It wasn't even graphic or anything. Not like that. I just couldn't recognize anything. I could make out things moving, but not in any way any creature on Earth has ever moved before. Colors that I'd never seen. Just thinking about it gives me a splitting headache. This is my best attempt at visualizing it. We have 3 dimensions here on Earth, yeah? We can move forwards, backwards, left, right, 72.4 degrees southwest, etc. These things weren't restricted to that. I can't explain it any further. All I know is that I didn't want to watch one. I don't think I would have been able to. I left my room for the first time in a while. I was planning to leave my house. I needed fresh air, to take a walk or something. Hell, I was thinking about running a marathon in the middle of the night just to get my mind off of that shit for a few hours. I was putting on my jacket when I heard a knock at the door. I stopped dead in my tracks. Obviously, I wasn't opening up. About a minute and a half, 5 more knocks go by. Came before somebody spoke up. "Open up. We know what you did, but we're not here to hurt you. We just want to talk." The tone wasn't threatening. Eventually, I obliged. I opened my door to 2 tall, slim men in suits. They smiled. "Can we come in?" I still don't know how they found me. I thought for sure that I was off the grid. We sat down. I guess I was just waiting for answers at this point. One of them looked at me and said, "What were you looking for?" "I don't know, but I'm not going back," I responded. He smiled again, like this is what he wanted to hear. The other one piped up, "Who do you work for?" His tone was a bit more aggressive. I just shook my head. Look, I didn't know what I was getting into. I wasn't looking for anything. They just stared at me for a while. "I'm not gonna let anybody know what I saw," they finally responded. "We're not worried about that. Doubt anybody believe you." Another smile. Somehow it felt genuine. "We just wanted to know what your priorities were." In retrospect, that was a very strange question. "Just do us a favor and we'll leave." I perked up. "Give us the device you used to access it." I didn't ask any questions. I ran upstairs and basically tossed them my laptop. They both smirked at me one last time before heading for the door. Just as they were about to leave, one of them turned back. "I don't think you need to be told, but don't try this again. I don't show anybody else how to get there either." "Well, we'll know." I didn't ask who they were. I'm not sure I would have wanted to know. It's been a week now. I don't go on the internet so much anymore. After this, I'm going to try and forget. To try not think about this anymore. I've started having horrific nightmares. Been seeing a therapist for that, but I don't think it's helping. Anyways, I'm not going to let this consume the rest of my life. The thing is, I'm afraid this might not be possible. There are some things we aren't supposed to know about. Probably for our own safety and sanity. Don't try and seek them out. It's better that way. However, it might be a bit too late for me. They say curiosity killed the cat. At this point, it's funny. That almost feels like a personal attack at this point. I haven't forgotten about that night. I mean, it's not just something you can stop thinking about. What the hell was the last thing I saw? The strange thing is, it never even comes up in my nightmares. It's always the other stuff. I swear, I can see that dude with no mouth every time I close my eyes, but maybe it's not so weird. My brain couldn't comprehend it the first time, so how could my subconscious produce a recreation? Shit, I don't want to think about it anymore. But I can't. You see, my problems aren't just in my head anymore. I thought I was done. And after the Men in the Black visit paid by, I thought it was over. In retrospect, that was just wishful thinking. No, it was delusional. After what I saw, guess it doesn't work like that. I guess the world just isn't that simple. Here's what's been happening. It's been 3 days since I've gone back to work, and I think I'm being followed. No, I'm sure I am. The thing is, the first time, I didn't really notice. Whoever the hell they are, they've been using different vehicles. Always the same routine. After work, I get into my car and start driving home. Another vehicle always tails me until I turn to my driveway, and they just drive past. Now, if it happens once, whatever, but 3 times? Under normal circumstances, I could call it a coincidence. For obvious reasons, I can't do that right now. I'm not really sure what the hell they want. Maybe they're trying to monitor me? God, that's all I hope they're trying to do. If that's the case, I'll just lay low and ride it out. Just give them what they want. This time, I try to get a glimpse of them in my rear view. Windows were tinted. Great. Again, I pulled into my driveway and they kept going. Now, I know I said I was just going to ride it out, but this kind of shit really does take a toll on you. I don't want to deal with whatever the hell this is anymore. I swear they're following me closer and closer each time. I did something different today. Took public transit instead of driving. I've never needed a drink more in my life, so I went to the bar after work. I guess this was more of an experiment to see how closely they've been tracking me. If they're bothered by the waiting, then they can go fuck themselves. I'm still living my life, although I couldn't keep my eyes off the windows the whole time. After getting sufficiently wasted, I flagged the cab down, and surprise, surprise, there they were, right behind us. But here's what I didn't expect. It was the same car from yesterday. Well, looks like they've given up on the Incognito Act. Not sure how to feel about that. Damn it, something else changed. They didn't just keep driving this time. After the cab dropped me off, I turned around to see that the damn car parked half a block away from my house. I just went inside. The hell was I supposed to do? Calling the cops didn't even occur to me, but to be honest, I don't think that would have helped. It's been 3 hours now and they're still there. I haven't been watching them the whole time, so I don't know whether or not they're actually in the car. Not fun to think about. There's no way in hell I'm sleeping tonight. It's about 2 a.m. now. I just got a text message. Private number. Here's what it said. Leave your house. Don't use the front door. They're still there. Come to the all-night diner about 5 blocks away. Don't think about driving. They'll know. Be quick. They're coming in soon. Don't be followed. Leave your lights on. I froze after reading this. They're coming in? For what? Who the hell's texting me? Now I don't know what you would have done in this situation, but I took the warning. I was paranoid to hell at this point. Buzzed and tired, I put on a jacket and went out my back door. I also took a backpack with my other laptop in it. Not sure why, but I felt like I needed to. I waited for a second before I climbed my own fence. When I was sure nobody had noticed, I started heading towards the diner. After about 40 minutes, I finally got there. Would have been shorter, but I pretty much ducked into bushes every time a car passed. I scanned the patrons, a table of drunk college kids, a few truckers, and a dude in a hoodie typing away on a computer in the back. He didn't look threatening. Actually, he was pretty scrawny. I made an educated guess. I walked to his table and sat down. He looked at me. Aye, what do you want? You texted me? There was a brief pause. I got worried for a second. Was it not him? But he broke the silence. Hey, they follow you? No, I don't think so. He nodded. Alright. And then he laughed, like this was supposed to be funny. Man, you screwed up, didn't you? Hard to disagree with that. What were you doing anyways? What were you trying to find? Nothing, I swear, I just did it for the hell of it, I guess. He just stared at me in amused disbelief. Oh, that's fucking lame. Would have been cool if you were a spy or something. He chuckled again. Look, who are you? How did you know they were after me? And who are they, anyways? I pelted him with questions. Alright, settle down. I'm not going to tell you who they are. I don't know either. But I will tell you that they don't have good intentions. Fantastic, I thought. Well, how do you know about them? He paused. They came after me. 1 second I'm reading about demons on the moon. The next I'm getting my door kicked in. This was months ago. I skipped town. I was confused. Wait, what do you mean? They tried to kill me, dude. I couldn't believe this. And you were just viewing the links? That was it? You teach other people how to get there or something? He raised his eyebrow. No, why do you ask? I was floored. They didn't do that to me, I said. They just came by, took my laptop, and gave me a warning. Now it was his turn to look shocked. Really? He seemed to think about something for a while. He then proceeded to ask what they looked like. Just men in suits, I responded. What did they ask you? Was his follow-up question. Again, I just told him, but then I remembered the last thing they said to me. They also asked me what my priorities were. Weird-ass question. His face went blank for a second. Yeah, strange. What followed was an uncomfortable silence. I finally asked him the thing that's been on my mind ever since. That page, with just the 4 links? What the hell is that supposed to be? He raised his eyebrow and told me he didn't know what I was talking about. This is where things got strange. After I told him a rough explanation of what I saw, his expression changed completely. I could make out a sudden flare in his demeanor. What did you type in the prompt? He asked me. What also seeks me? I answered. I was thoroughly confused at this point. Isn't that what you did as well? He just shook his head. No. He then shut his laptop and stood up. Well, where the hell are you going? I inquired. We've been here too long. Look, I know you have more questions, but I can't answer them for you. Go to a motel tonight or something. And just like that, he was gone. What the hell was I going to do? Stop him? I still have no idea who the hell this guy is. The only thing I got out of him was a name. Jackson. And even that's probably fake. Tired as hell and still a little bit drunk, I left the diner and tried to stay hidden for as long as I could to find a nearby hotel. Motel. Well, couldn't afford a hotel, obviously. This wasn't fun. Now, here I am, sitting in some sketchy motel at 4:30 a.m. I can barely keep my eyes open, but I also can't help but look over my shoulder every second I'm awake. This is the pinnacle of shitty situations. Guess I'll try to get some sleep. Nothing else I can do. I'll figure something out in the morning. Well, I guess it's been Saturday for a while, actually. It's 8 a.m. now. Barely got any sleep. I have this creeping, ominous feeling in my gut that something just isn't right. I turned on the TV, anything to clear my mind for a bit, right? What I saw next did the opposite of that. It was a news report. A man struggled to death in a KFC bathroom, but the person murdered was one of the guys that came to my house and took my computer. No suspects. I just stared at the screen for the longest time. What the actual hell is going on? My phone buzzed suddenly. A different message from a private number. This is what it said. Go to the swimming pool on 5th Street. In the men's locker room. Go to locker 128. The combination is 122733. Further instructions are in there. Do so before this text gets intercepted. Don't bring your phone. Of course, how stupid was I? My phone was still on me. Surely whoever was after me would have had this tracked from the beginning. This never even crossed my mind. Out of curiosity, I peeked outside my window. Sure enough, the car that's been following me is now parked right there. Luckily for me, I caught the first glimpse of the driver and the passenger getting out. They were both wearing gloves and one was holding a briefcase. They were walking towards the entrance now. After I've emailed this to myself and a friend, I'm going to need to think quick. I've already dropped off my phone in the toilet and I'm going to need to get rid of the laptop next. But people need to know that this happened. If you hear from me again, looks like I found a way out of this.